No. This is where we are right now. This would be the living room of the Schulte and Winter residence. This is where it happened. The bathroom of the Schulte Winter residence. Come with me. Let me show you. This is it. Under this sink is where it all began. Under this sink, a pipe broke. The pipe broke, water splued from that pipe to the floor, in the cabinetry, into this hallway, which used to be carpeted.
Yes, it did. And very beautiful carpet it was.
Into, on this map I shall demonstrate, into this hallway where we're standing right now in front of this bathroom. The water from there went to Scott and Shannon's room, which is directly behind us.
As you can see, the rubble... Thank you.
Hi.
Oh! As you can see, the...
Scott.
Pardon me, Scott, for interrupting. I just wanted to point...
Quite all right.
I wanted to point this out because
I think
it's very important that this fact be uncovered right here at the beginning of the video, because this is something that we have had to deal with for, what, several weeks now, hasn't it been, Scott?
This is
It's been a month.
A month.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. The devastation, the destruction that happened in this house. This is the heart, the main soul. I may call it that.
In our room.
This
Yes.
is it.
And it does have some kind of a psychological, how shall I say this, a bearing on all of us that live in this house.
It has.
I tend to agree with that.
Scott, go on.
From the bedroom, the water traveled back through the hallway into Stephen and Kathy's room,
Kathy's
which is
sleeping.
directly behind us.
Let's make sure that Kathleen is...
I believe the trauma has caused Kathy to get
she
extra
has
sleep.
been, very disturbed.
This is coming down the hallway into Steve and Kathy's room. Okay?
She's under
Kathy's not in here right now.
Okay.
She is. She's right here.
This is the very carpet, right here.
Under this blanket.
The very carpet that was
Put your hand
soaking wet.
There's her hand right there.
We're talking very wet.
That's her.
Okay, we got that.
Into the closet. Steve and Kathy's
Let's
closet.
get this closet here.
You can see it's still devastated.
I mean...
The relief workers haven't had time to get into this area yet.
You can see the total destruction.
Are there any survivors?
We have no idea if there's survivors in this area at this time.
Hi.
Leaving Stephen and Kathy's bedroom.
Wait, let's point out the this door here, which does go to the office area, which we will be to later, okay? But that is an extra door that, if for any reason there were an emergency, let's say fire, let's say earthquake, let's say tornado, that someone did have to leave this area in a hurry, that they could use this. Is that not correct, Scott?
This is some of the basic construction of the 1950s.
You remember this? This is Cruiser.
Most houses in the
He
1950s
survived.
did have at least 2 doors in every room. Okay?
Except our room, we die in that case of an emergency.
Interview Cruiser as a survivor.
This is yellow.
Let's leave this area of
Leaving
devastation.
Kathy's room.
This is yellow. She hates every single person except when she's in heat, and then she likes Scott the best.
Because I'm so
Scott.
friendly.
Okay, let's leave this area of devastation because Kathleen does have to go to work tomorrow morning, and she does have to earn a living to try to pay for this mess.
I'll get you there.
Okay?
Okay, leaving this room, we will re-enter the hallway that we saw earlier.
Off. Lights
In this
off.
production.
Thank you. That's a big one. Thanks.
Hi. See ya.
Coming through the hallway now.
Oh! Can you you
See,
just
that's
carry
what
that
I
for me,
mean.
Shannon,
I
please?
Pieces of ceiling falling from, pieces of ceiling falling to the floor. It's
Oh,
very
watch out!
momentary.
Oh,
Watch out for that piece.
that almost hit Cruiser that time.
Yes, it did.
Okay. Coming out of
Wait,
the
let's
hallway now.
see the closet area real quick, just in case. I mean, there wasn't any serious damage here, but there was some destruction down here.
Allow me to point something out.
Okay, now this is Scott and Shannon's shelf there. Now, Shannon, go ahead.
This is the cat shelf. Therefore, they have a cat box right down in here, and we have a little broom to clean up after them, and a little renews it. We sell these in Payless, by the way, and we had these on sale a couple weeks ago. But anyway, we have one of those in there. So therefore, this shelf stinks, which has my makeup on it. This shelf stinks, and this shelf stinks.
Yes.
Like cat shit.
And Shannon, could I just add in here real quickly that Cruiser has pissed all over the house?
However,
that
can I
smell-
add? Okay,
Yes,
that's
go.
great.
Okay.
Cruiser has pissed in the house. And the reason being, I called the vet. He goes outside and he sees these other male cats outside. Now, this is very traumatic for me because I have to admit he is my cat. Well, he comes back in, he thinks he has to prove that this is his territory, and he sprays all over the house. In fact, we will show you in a few minutes where he sprayed on the stereo system that belongs to Steve Schulte.
I think that I might not like this segment.
Anyway.
Let's follow our tour here. Wait, here's the fireplace. We have to remember, though, that Butch and Charlene haven't been in this area before, so we do have to point out the artistic, characteristics, shall I say, okay?
The architecture back in these years, the 1960s, is just phenomenal. The way they constructed things, I mean, it's just like they say, they don't build things like they used to. That's very true. You can tell just looking at this house, they do not build things the way they used to. We've come into the living room, which is temporarily Scott and Shannon's living quarters also.
Okay, Scott, can we just get a shot of that a map just for a moment so that we can just reflect on where that we have been in the past and where we are going in the future? Perhaps you could give us a brief recap of where we have been, Scott, and where we are now.
Yes, we started where the whole flood of '89, the devastation, the destruction all started in this room, the bathroom.
Now,
Underneath
why
the
does
sink.
that say B? Oh, okay, go on.
Bathroom. We left the bathroom into the hallway, which did take most of the damage, and most of the water was left in the hallway. The water from there came into Scott and Shannon's room. Quite a bit of water in this area, moisture in the rest of the area. The whole carpet obviously wet, but most of the water concentrated in this area.
Most definitely, I would say that was obvious, Scott.
Yes. You did notice the rubble and remains left in
Yes,
this room.
we did very well. So
Water came under, it was linoleum under carpet. Water got under linoleum.
I was really torn up about the whole thing.
Water came from the other direction into Stephen and Kathy's room. You'll see at the other end of the hall here. SKR, Steve, Kathy's room. Okay? Their room, it took damage to this area. Water traveled along the wall into the closet, which would be in this area. The water then came from the living room, where we are now. Okay? All along this area, I mean, it's obvious that the floor has been wet, and it has been wet recently.
May I point out the discoloration floor? This is a hardwood floor, and you can tell the discoloration here due to the water damage.
Most definitely.
Shannon, perhaps you could show us what the material that is remaining on the floor in that area is over there, where Cruiser is now standing.
This, what we have here, which I'm standing on right about now, is the remainder of the carpet pad that the men that came in, they tore up the rest and they left this little piece lying here. As you can see, it's not a very big inconvenience as much as the rest of the house. However, it is an eyesore.
Yes, you're right about that, Shannon.
I might add, when the rescue crews did come in the night of the flood, they arrived at the Schulte residence at approximately 12:30 a.m. And myself, I did stick it out. I was one of the, quote, heroes of the Great Flood, and did tear the carpet out. I got right down into the heart of it, tore the carpet out, tore the pad out, helped him carry the soaking wet stuff outside into the yard. I was here for people who needed help, people who didn't need place else. I don't know.
Might I add?
Like this young who didn't need help was sleeping.
I slept
She
through
was
the whole
someplace
thing.
else.
I didn't even hear a sound. That's all.
May we continue the tour now?
Yes.
Charlene is now crying from boredom.
Okay. The water came from the living room into... Well, now, how in the world? It came into Steve's office, which is directly over this way.
Might I add, on this map, you can't really see. However, I will draw the living room. There is a little door, approximately.
I think this newscast is getting long.
Yes.
Right
I think we should
here.
hurry.
And that's where we will be traveling now, into Stephen's office.
Which is down these stairs. The water came down these stairs, through here.
As you can see, the carpet has been torn up here as well.
You can see the carpet in Stephen's office remains. The pad is gone. They've taken the pad out.
You can see the quality of that carpet.
Yes. And that's why it's taken so long to get this carpet replaced. The landlord is making sure he gets the best quality so we can replace this with the same quality that we had in here
Trying
before.
to screw the insurance company.
So we come through the rubble, the remains, coming near the end of the devastation now.
Of course, these boxes here, which you see sprown out, you know, what do you call that word? Sprown?
Sure.
I don't know, something. They're all over the place, in other words. These are belongings of people that have lived in this house. And as you can see, if your belongings were in these boxes, you might have a hard time dealing with day-to-day life.
Like us.
Oh.
Grandma
Wait,
and Grandpa.
first of all, I've
we
got to
have
get a
add-
shot.
We have to add.
Just a minute.
Grandma and Grandpa weighed these boxes especially to bring them down in their little mobile home. We thank them.
Okay, now I'd like to get a quick shot for Charlene, this office area, which I have set up for video ad works real quick first. Over here you have your bookshelf, and look at this suit. Isn't that beautiful? Now here you've got your basic banana tree, and the desk area. File cabinets.
Shannon stuff, sorry.
Broken chair.
Phone book. Scott broke my chair. Okay, now you got your basic tools over here. Here's my new typewriter that Kathleen just happened to pick up for $35 at Payless.
What a bargain.
But it's rather a mess. And oh, here's our fish tank, and let me show you there's a dead fish in the back there right
We're
now.
going to point out where Cruiser sprayed.
You can see him in the back. He's in there. See him all the way in the back? He's dead.